Representative Steve King from Iowa is, of course, a notorious racist, and he has a history of saying absurd anti-immigrant things. He's the guy that said immigrants are all drug smugglers with cantaloupe calves. He came up with that, cantaloupe calves, and I think he was specific with how much drugs the immigrants are carrying across the border. I forget the exact number, but 42 pounds of drugs or something, whatever, it's irrelevant. But anyway, he's back in the news for continuing to be just a xenophobic asshole, and he's going to weigh in on the irrelevant Newsmax TV. He's talking to Steve Malzberg, and he's going to tell us where he thinks immigrants go when they come into the United States.
So we're spending these billions of dollars and transferring people to many of the states, maybe even all of the states, where they get a traveling document from the Border Patrol that is a single sheet of copy paper with a permit printed on it by the printing machine of the Border Patrol, and there's no picture on it, there's no prints on it, there's just a name.
And they could get on any commercial jet they want, right?
They can, and they often get on a commercial jet with two of our federal officers to be delivered to the address of their choice. And that might be a crack house, it might be an MS13 house, it might be a cat house.
When immigrants come in the country, they take helicopter rides to a crack house, an MS13 house, or a cat house. Right, because all immigrants, they can only be gang members, prostitutes, or drug addicts. No, but you know what this shows you? It proves how Steve King thinks about immigrants. Look, maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm silly, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention or whatever it is, but I didn't catch on for the longest time what it is exactly that conservatives and Republicans and these kinds of politicians, what it is they think about immigrants. But look, he's crystallizing it right here for us. He's letting us know. He's not hiding anything. He's saying, no, you don't get it. If it's an immigrant, I automatically assume you're smoking crack or you're part of a gang MS-13 or you're sucking dicks and you're a whore. It's so incredible to me. It's so unbelievable to me because it's so counterfactual. Right? I mean, look, there are these stereotypes that have developed, some of it based on truth, the idea that, the person has an immigrant work ethic. You know what that means? That doesn't mean they're like sitting on their couch and relaxing and not working. It means they're busting their fucking ass. They're busting their ass. What are immigrants actually doing? I mean, come on. Let's be honest. A lot of them are picking oranges in California. A lot of them are doing the work that Americans don't want to do and wouldn't do even if the immigrants weren't here. Work like taking care of really, really old people, okay? Housekeepers. I mean, you name it. There are a bunch of things, working in agriculture, working out in fields, right? I mean, things that, there was a story coming, I think it was one of the Carolinas, North Carolina or South Carolina, where they rounded up all the immigrants and they sent them away, right? And then after a while, they wanted them back. Why? Because all the job positions that opened in the agriculture industry, none of the Americans would come and work those jobs, right? I mean, look, landscapers too, let's be honest, man. But it's not just that. They're doing a whole bunch of different things. I mean, there was another Steve King clip that came out today where a dreamer confronted him and said, look, I'm a dreamer, right? But I went to school, I have a degree. Another one said, I wanted to fucking go to Iraq when 9/11 happened and defend the country. But I couldn't because of the way the laws were set up. So what are you doing? Look, I have a degree. He wants to join the military. We're Americans. This is all we know. We're Americans. And he's still he said, oh, you speak good English. Oh, my God. It's like he doesn't click. He doesn't get it. If somebody says, oh, they're a foreigner, they're an immigrant, they're Mexican, they're Central American. He's like, huh? What? No hablo española. What are you saying? I don't understand. This is... why are they speaking English? They look different, so I can't understand what they're saying. But that's the point. This is how they view immigrants. They view immigrants as, well, they're just inferior, right? I mean, that's just what they are. They're obviously all either prostitutes or drug addicts or just lazy, or, I mean, this is what they do. They're gang members, right? They're just criminals. Yeah, Steve, you got it, man. I mean, I wonder if he was so outraged about all the crime on Wall Street. Right? Was he outraged about that? Goldman Sachs, selling a product, telling people, you're going to make so much money, man, buy these subprime mortgage packages. Then behind their back, betting against those subprime mortgage packages so they'd make money off of them, and then when that product fails, that they just sold like it was good. Massive criminals. How about HSBC, when they literally did business with Mexican drug cartels and Al-Qaeda? They laundered money for Al-frickin-Qaeda. Was Steve King out there? Oh my God, the criminals with the suits and ties, the white dudes with suits and ties, the banksters, the Wall Street people who took our money in a giant bailout when they bankrupted their own companies, and then they remodeled their offices. It cost millions of dollars. They bought new private jets. They gave bonuses. But no, those aren't criminals. Why? Because they're nice white guys, and Steve King only, if it's white, it must be right, according to Steve King. But if you have dark skin and you came across the border, well, obviously, you're just a bad person. You're inferior. This, unfortunately, is modern-day far-right conservative logic, and it's gross, and anybody who believes it, you're just silly, and you're really not that smart.